Welcome back to the Tide Here. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for January 28th, 2024, and we are going to have some Transformers news from all different spectrums, from Masterpiece, Legends, Mainline, and HasLab stuff coming up. We don't really know yet, but speculation is there. And then we have some Turtles, more Turtles of Grayskull. It seems like all they're doing is Turtles of Grayskull right now, not really any other new Turtle stuff coming out. But I will touch on the Revolution show. I did watch it. And then we have some Diamond Select coming out with a few things. I mean, they're coming out with quite a few things, but we'll touch on a couple. Also, we have some Masters of the Universe stuff going on. They are showing some things. It's kind of like they inadvertently showed it, but it's out. So there is going to be more stuff coming down the line for the Masters of the Universe, obviously with the show coming out. We have a couple things to talk about for G.I. Joe, and yeah, pretty cool stuff that is on the way, coming down the pipeline. We do actually have some Star Wars stuff to talk about this weekend because they actually did have a pretty decent show. I mean, the best showing they've had in a long time, but it's still a lot of reused stuff. No surprise there. So take a break from looking for AI Tay-Tay picks and watch some news coming up. Starting out with what's new at Show Z, we've got the X-Transbots MX-26R Bonnet James. This one is the Indiana track red version. $1 down, probably around 115 is what the specialty ones. Now, this isn't the only specialty one they've got going on. They've got a red one, a yellow one, and a white one, if you're in on these. They're also taking pre-orders for the Mastermind Creations R42Y DZEV Deathsaurus. $1 down, no price yet, but still it's pretty cool. I believe this one to be smaller than the X-Transbots one. This one might actually come out sooner, though. And there is a sale for $180 on the X-Transbots MX-22C Commander Stacks Ultra Magnus clear yellow urine version, if you're interested. And the Magic Square MSB06W Space Skimmer Cyclonus. This is like a recolor. Is it Shattered Glass? Something along those lines. On sale for $22.49. Actually, I prefer the New Age one, but the New Age one is triple the price. So if you like a cheap one, a little off-color one for a low price, then you might want to pick this one up. But anyway, thanks to everybody that puts the TH in the Support Your Viewer code at Show Z Store. So we got a pretty light week on the Masterpiece news, but there is some stuff going on out there. This Kukinski G2 from DX9, I believe it's about $72, something along those lines, which sounds about right for it, and it is the G2 color scheme. We got a couple more pictures of it, and I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it's a little more interesting. The G2s are more colorful, and here it is in the alt mode. Looks pretty cool overall, which kind of gives you an idea of what the ARM mode is going to look like. You know, that's kind of how it goes. And with that, if you're in on this set, I think it'd be a fantastic set to get on. I'm debating of whether or not going in on the G2 set and then having a G2 Minosaur and then getting rid of my G1 version of it, because you don't need 3 G1 versions, right? Speaking of debating on getting stuff, you guys talked me into getting the Pengu Toys. Is it 18-inch, 18-inch, 17.7-inch tall, a Magic Square 2.0 Masterpiece upscale of Optimus Prime, and Show Z does have it in stock now, $165. Last I checked, because I was able to pre-order it, so it was in stock then. And looking at this, this is how big it is compared to the first one and the Legends. So, well, the 2.0 original and the original Legends 2.0. Good comparisons there. We've got alt mode comparisons here, and these are different pictures than ones I had on Friday. So pretty cool, pretty fun to see all this stuff going on, and it's exciting to see what it looks like next to the Lewin Resources. And I did talk about that Lewin Resources. I do not have a Lewin Resources. I thought it was just way too big, and I felt like this one was too big too, but kind of looking at it, put it in perspective, 18 inches isn't that big, and especially if you keep it in maybe in alt mode. Yeah, maybe in alt mode most of the time. It's really not that bad of a transformation either, but it looks good from all angles. And in fact, I actually think side by side, I might like the look of this better than the actual Magic Square one. So for whatever reason, I guess people were making AI primes this past week. There's a bunch of pictures floating around. I only got 2 to show. Well, I guess I only have 2 to show on this, but this is one of them that they're saying is an AI prime. I'm not exactly sure. It looks like a real product to me, so that's really good. It looks like an actual figure that's actually getting made. And then here's another AI prime. So AI seems all the rage these days, and just kind of making up your own masterpiece, Optimus Primes, those kinds of things. With AI, is it something that'll become a reality? Is this a way that you can start designing new figures in the future? Maybe. Here we go with a Taiga Toys figure. I have no idea what the name of the character is because it doesn't say anywhere in any of the stuff that I was looking at, but it's a picture, looks pretty cool. Interesting looking figure, kind of gets the feel of one of the live action movies going on, but it's another one that turns into a boat. It's a boat. The boatman's got to stay with the boat. Well, that's a really nice looking ship, and it's not the same company as making the other battleships that I know, but Taiga Toys, if it's something, I don't see where to pre-order it just yet, but I'm pretty sure eventually it'll be show out for pre-orders pretty soon. Now this is something called the Soul Chogokin GX 109 Choryugen, and it's one of those kind of combiners. It kind of feels like what we got in the Robots in Disguise kind of era, but it's not. It's not the same thing. It's just the feel I get when I look at it, and it turns into this, which looks like more of like a blue sort of a grapple kind of thing. Inferno. I don't know. I just went through like all the names. Kind of like that's how you know you're getting old when you start with your kids, the oldest kid, and work your way down. Anyway, this is kind of got that feel and vibe to me, and I thought it was kind of like a knockoff of one of the other masterpieces, but it's a whole new thing. Now this doesn't really feel like news, but there's official pictures of the Yellow Park Optimus Prime coming out, along with pre-orders and all that kind of stuff. I've already pre-ordered mine from ShowZ a while back. Look forward to getting this. It's non-transforming. It's like $60 in the $60 price range for a figure that looks really good, and it's very G1-esque. The Megatron's great. This is great. The Starscream's coming. All wonderful, but with that, I'm in on this line. I don't know how deep they'll go. They'll probably only go as deep as like 8-10 figures. I don't think they're going to give us 100 figures, but we'll be interested to see how deep they go with it. It is interesting because we're getting pictures of the Super 7 Soundwave, and I'm sort of okay with the direction they went, but I way prefer to spend $5 more and get what we're getting from Yellow Park. In my opinion, I think it's a much superior product. Will we get as many characters as Super 7 will eventually do? I don't know. Will they scale together? I think they scale together okay, sort of, but looking at them, I prefer the Yellow Park. I might have to pick up this Soundwave, though, oddly enough. All right, getting into some Legends news. We've got some new pictures of this Robot Toys, and they call this one Caesar, RT01 Caesar. And it's a Transformers Optimus Primal, looking pretty decent. This is it next to, am I guessing that this is their Megatron? So a little on the stylized side, but still overall looking pretty good. And here we go with the alt mode next to the Megatron. Now, not really 100% sure what the price will be when it comes out, because it's $1 pre-order, releasing 4th quarter 23, so it should have already been out. Maybe it's coming pretty soon. This updated picture that we just got a few days ago might indicate it's coming pretty soon. The Megatron is the RT02 Tyrant, and that one is also a Legends scale, and it is 4.96, and this Optimus Primal is a little under 4 inches. Sticking with the Legends, there's a Yellow Park Nemesis blind box. I don't like this. I think they're about Legends size. I don't have them in my hand yet. I ordered the set that comes. These, you put them together, you build them, whatever. When I get them in, I'll know more about this line and have a better idea of it, but they're 12 centimeters tall. The weird thing about this is the fact that this is a blind box, so you don't know if you're going to get this or not, but you can also get the set. So anyway, I'm looking forward to getting the AMK miniseries and take a look at, and would like to get my hands on this too, probably. Alright, so we have Iron Factory pictures of the EX69, and I'm guessing the 69 is the Kill Bison, not the Drill Horn. We have both pictures of both, but anyway, it looks pretty cool, pretty interesting. They are going to be making a combiner out of all this, and that's what you get in the package. And here's the IFEX70 in the package, and looks like it just straight up comes with the leg attachment, which is, I guess, fine with me. If that's how they want to roll, that's how they want to do it. It's the combiner. I'm not sure exactly how it combines, how it works, how it operates, but there it is, and there's more from them actually coming along the way. Now this is actually pretty awesome. They're making a Minosaur. It looks cool. It's kind of a samurai Minosaur kind of thing going on, and this is the EX80 through 84 and it looks pretty cool. It is definitely Legends scale. It's got somewhat of a G1 look to it, but then of course, Samurai. I believe you can customize this and make it less Samurai if you want, but maybe that's just my belief on that. And their Samurai Shockwave turns into a bow and a sword that you can use with your new Minosaur, if that's a thing that you want to do. If you want to go in on this set and you want to get the Shockwave, you can do all that in their Samurai series. Alright, so we got some pictures of Super 7's reaction. Beast Wars T-Rex stock images. This is the Megatron in red, which I guess T-Rex is a different character. I'm not sure. It's cool looking, interesting. I haven't seen these at retail in forever, and I don't really want to pony up the whole $20 to get them online. It's kind of hoping to get them on sale somewhere if I saw them, but if I don't, it's not the end of the world. But here's the back of the package. The reason I think the back of the package is important so you can see what's out there, because I haven't seen any of this stuff, so you're literally just looking online for it. And I kind of gotten used to seeing these in the store. But you've got Megatronus, Primal, Cheetor, Black Arachnia, and Dinobot. If you're in on this set, then that's where you are so far, keeping up with it. Transitioning to mainline stuff, this is allegedly the Skywarp Red figure, and so it's kind of interesting because it's going to coincide with kind of every single thing red going on clearance across the world at the same time. It's kind of how it's going to happen, in my opinion, in my eyes, from my viewpoint, that they're possibly leaking another one, which it makes a lot of sense. They already got Starscream, why not do the whole team? And I'm not even sure, did they even do a Thundercracker? But anyway, it's pretty cool looking overall. But let me show you something I think's even more cool looking than that. Walmart seemed to have started clearancing this 2-year-old stock of stuff they've had lingering for a while, and I think $20 is the price they came out originally. Then they bumped it to $25. Kind of funny because some of the stuff sat on the shelf and enjoyed a price hike while it sat on the shelf. Now it's back down to normal price. I believe eventually these will be aggressively discounted, some down to possibly $3. I've seen them showing up for about $13 at the Ross's and the Ollie's. I don't know so much. Yeah, Ollie's has them $13 also. So you can kind of pick them up there. But I think Walmart will go even cheaper than that. But who knows? Will be interesting to see. All right, so the non-F kit that converts your Studio Series sludge into paddles, I absolutely did not get that the whole point of the kit was to make it paddles. Not that it was like, oh, one option's a paddles piece here and there. So the whole point was to make the one on the right to look like a paddles. I sure missed that point when we saw that kit. Now that I guess it's getting closer to coming out, there it is. It's the Dino mode that makes the biggest difference, of course, and I get it. I missed that. I was like, I knew there was some paddles parts, but I thought it was like, this is an option along with all these other things you could do with it, but it turns out it is the whole thing you're doing with it, and quite impressive. If you want to see a 6th Dinobot in there, well, if you want 5 right now, I mean, we're Swoop, but once we get Swoop, you want a 6th one. And Paddles is legendary, so there you go. Alright, so it looks like there's going to be a delay on this dude right here. So this Fortress Maximus reissue is pushed back to August 1st. It was originally scheduled for February 1st. That's a huge push, and I don't know why, but I personally thought it was already going to be later in like 3rd quarter anyway. But I guess they were expecting to have it out by February. Anyhow, I'm not affected by this because I'm not pre-ordering it, but I know a lot of people really were looking forward to it, and there's upgrade kits coming out for it and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in this and you pre-ordered it, it's still coming. So we got Studio Series Bumblebee concept art, Sunstreaker, and we saw some of this last week, but here's official images. Is it official? Is it official? I don't even know. But there it is, and yeah, it's interesting looking. It's definitely a stylized take on Sunstreaker. I actually pulled my Sunstreaker out the other day to look at the one that they already made, and I thought that one looked pretty good. And with that, here's the alt mode. I kind of prefer the, and funny thing, I can't remember if it's Earthrise or whatever the line that they included the more Earth mode one, but this is supposed to look more like Cybertronian style, because it's Bumblebee movie, and there it is. Now we got the video game version of Sideswipe. I think it's is it the War of Cybertron? War for Cybertron. And great game. In fact, I think that War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, something along those lines. Those two games, in my opinion, are the best games made for Transformers. There's a lot of other ones that are more graphically interesting, but those are the most fun for gameplay wise, in my opinion. But would love to have seen more G1 stuff in it. But this one looks interesting. It does look quite right, in my opinion. Here's the alt mode, and it's got the feel of the game, in my opinion, but I don't remember so much. It's been so long since I played the game, but it's a fun game, and if you're into the game stuff, it's for you. Be honest, it's not for me. I won't be picking it up. Alright, so we have the Tomy release that is the Dinobot Tarantulas, and the differences between that and the originals that you probably already have. And I want to say that I'm actually surprised there's not much difference. So this whole release, this set, you see like purple on the chest in there on one of them where it's black on the other, but the colors are so close. I was expecting way different. I mean, the purple on the chest is a different purple, but I was expecting way different. I think they're more similar than I was originally expecting. Now on the Dinobot, I kind of think that the new one's a lighter shade of the tans, the browns, the skin color is a lighter, if I'm looking at them right, and then the new one has more of a metallic face. If I've got it right, I'm actually not 100% sure which one's which. So this one does look a little bit more different than the Tarantulas, but still pretty cool. And here's the thing, I don't feel like anyone that bought the standard one got shafted. I don't think these are vastly greater, but still kind of cool if you're super into it and you missed out on the first run. So, UK-based footwear brand Irregular Choice has put more of these Transformer footwear items and more on their site. Now, I'm not, of course, into all this kind of stuff. Curious people are. There's men and women's clothing. There's book bags or purses and all of that kind of stuff. It's cool looking stuff, and I'm not into it. If you are, though, I'm curious if people are into this. If this is something that they want, there's like 20 or 30 different things in here. I'm just showing this one. Quick little talk about the fan stream coming up on the 30th. So they're supposed to unleash a new HasLab. What's it going to be? I don't know. I have no idea. It's to celebrate 40th anniversary, 40 years. You would think it would be an Optimus Prime or a Megatron or something along those lines, but that's not a HasLab. And I would not want to see Optimus Prime or Megatron as a HasLab for a multitude of reasons, but mostly because I don't want to pay $300 plus for an Optimus Prime or a Megatron from Hasbro. I mean, I'd probably be okay with it third-party-ish and those kinds of things. But with that, there's a couple of ideas. Some people have gone out of their way making these life-size, or they're not really life-size. They're maybe close to Masterpiece scale versions of Metroplex. And there's been a lot of buzz about people showing Metroplex pictures this past week, because I think people really want a Metroplex. I think that you could get a Titan Metroplex out of the deal, or something that's like superior to Titan out of the deal, and very G1-esque. But that's probably not going to happen. The reality is, it's probably not going to happen. But I do kind of feel like when Lewin Resources is pushing to get theirs out, and when we already got the Saiyan Culture getting theirs out, Takara doesn't operate in a vacuum, and I think all these people that are in the Transformers community have some sort of whispers of what's going on. It possibly is one of these. But would you get upset having to pay $300 or $400 for one of these when we're used to getting Titans at $200? I don't know. What do you think? Switch over to a little bit of G.I. Joe real quick. There's a couple of things I want to point on, and this is the Spirit, Iron Knife, and Hiya Toys. Looks pretty good. Here's what I feel, and a lot of other people feel about the Hiya Toy stuff. It looks like what G.I. Joe Classified started out being, but now it's in 3.75 inch scale. And would you want them to just make exactly what Hasbro's already made? No. So it's different, and I like to be honest and transparent. It's not for me for $20-something a figure for these, but I still appreciate how it looks, and for the 4-inch scale figure, it is very impressive. I've got a couple other figures. I think they do good work, and they look great. I just got billed yesterday, the day before, for my Wave 2, for Super 7, Ultimates, and no, I'm not going to be reviewing the Wave. I actually am waiting for a sale to open a set. I'm going to keep the set sealed and open a set. But this is a picture of the Cobra Trooper, and I'm just going to say I absolutely love the way this looks. I love the way the Cobra Trooper looks. I love how pretty much all their figures look. And I know that not everybody does, and the price point is ridiculous. $55 is still absolutely insane. it doesn't sit that well with me, which is why if I want to get one to open, I wait for a sale. And so something along the lines that's going to happen, and then I'll do a review then. But pretty cool looking stuff overall. I am excited to get them. Pretty awesome. All right, so I'm going to try to kind of work my way into this Motu stuff, starting with Tmnt. Sounds strange, right? So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Miniatures Party Wagon Deluxe Box Set. This is something new coming out with 2-inch miniatures. The only ones of these that I have are the Dungeons & Dragons ones, because I didn't think we'd be able to get the bad guys any other way, and I figured, well, it'd be nice to have a representation. Never opened it, because by the time I got it, it was Super 7 announcing they're making theirs. They're probably going to make all the ones in that set, and they're going to make them in the 7-inch scale, so don't really even need to open my set of these, but for the Dungeons & Dragons. But as for the Turtles, if you're into this Turtle stuff, it's kind of a cool little set. Makes me think we're going to get another set to complete the Turtle set. Alright, so we got the Turtles of Grayskull Shredder, which is pretty interesting looking overall. And this is definitely a cool figure. And see, I haven't gone in on this line. I'm fighting it. I'm kind of hoping it goes on sale, but it seems very popular to those that are out there trying to get it, struggling to get it. It might be one of those things, though. It might be like what we saw with Motu and Moss Man, where he was hard to find for a while. Now he's showing up at a lot of places. So that would be pretty cool. Also, we got pictures of Raphael, the horde-headed Psi specialist, and yeah, it looks pretty good. It's kind of, I guess, what you expect with what's going on with this line, and if you're in on it, I'm sure you're super stoked to get this guy. Personally, I'm more interested in this Keldor figure. Now, I think it looks cool. It's one of those figures that I don't have any representation of Keldor in sort of the classic / Masterverse line, and with this in the Masterverse line, definitely something I'm going to pick up down the road when it comes out. And it's nice to see sort of new product that's not all just mashups of Turtles. But with that, what other characters will come from the story? The show itself was fun to watch again, just kind of getting to see the show and all of that. And I'll probably have to watch it again. But that's kind of how I rate a show. Would I watch it again? Sure. So I enjoyed it enough to watch it again. And Shatner as this character here, pretty awesome. Did a great job. And then, of course, he was just William Shatner, just talking. When you saw Skeletor's Mark Hamill does that crazy bad guy voice he's got going on, which is really, really good. So I had fun listening to all of those voice actors going on in there. But there's a lot of, like, Grandemir and several different versions of Teela. And no, it wasn't a Pouty Teela episode, so that was a pretty good show. And there's so many characters that could come from it. Okay, here's another crossover that I kind of forgot to talk about. It's the mutated battering Ram, and it's Ram Man, and he is crossed over, so there's something cool. That's something new that I've seen this week that I've never seen before, and there it is, if you're into this stuff. And I'm going to admit, I think it's kind of cool. I admit that I might want to get it when they go on clearance, but not for $20 each. Okay, now I don't talk about Diamond Select very much, and I don't buy much of their stuff, but I do buy some stuff here and there. It's like I pick and choose some of the stuff that's coming out, and with that, this Sice Noodles 12-inch is one of the things. That's kind of cool. And then there's a few other things going on here. But what really catches my eye this week is these two hobbits, and the name is like Mary, Brandy Buck, and Pippin Took figures. So this is stuff you just don't see all the time. And if you want to go deep on this line and you're interested in keeping up with this, then this would be your time to shine. I think they're $30 each, and you can approximately 4-inch figure features. So it's a 7-inch line. These are small, so they're 4-inch. That's why they're that height. But anyhow, $30 each for 4-inch figures for a 7-inch line. And yeah, I mean, that's what it is. You can get them at Entertainment Earth or Big Bad Toy Store. Ramen Toy is full on production with the CAG set, and they did show that the black doesn't match the black of the car because it's actually more of a charcoal gray. So they made sure that their CAG set, their canopies, match the car. And here is a nice comparison picture showing the actual canopies on the respective sets. So the matte's on the sort of top, and then the bottom one is the gloss. So that shows that. And I think it looks fantastic. I mean, if you have one of these cars, the extra $20 or so, just add it on if you're ordering anything from Ramen Toy, and the shipping will not change. is the way it worked for me, and I'm nothing special, so I placed my order the same. And here is the difference between the top is the after, the bottom is before, and so many people complain about that canopy. It just looks more correct to use the ramen toy one, but you have to take this thing apart. There's like, it's got a top, middle, and a bottom. You got to take the top, middle, and bottom part and get to the top to put this in and then put it back together. It's really simple. It's not really that hard, but there it goes. Okay, we had a Star Wars live stream. It wasn't the greatest live stream on the planet, but it still is something. And although I feel like half the stuff we literally already have. I mean, it is the exact same stuff we already have. There's a few new things in there. So I'm going to celebrate the few new things. Okay, so we do have these Rebels figures that are the Vintage Collection. Now, Vintage Collection figures are $17 now, so that should be $34 for two. And then maybe you should save a little bit of money because you're getting them at the same time. So maybe it should be 30 or 33. No, they're 50. You're getting juiced. You're getting juiced. All those people that spent $500 on their Ghost are going to need these two figures to finish the set. And I'm debating whether I get them because I really like Chopper. But $25 a figure for these is a bit of a stretch. So obviously the coolest thing in this live stream is something I made a video 2 Saturdays ago or something like that about, is what the prequels gave us, the cool stuff from the prequels. This was my number one. And I said that this is number one, this is what we need. And of course Hasbro checks my channel to decide what they should make for Star Wars. And usually they say no. This time they said yes. So a few weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, I'm excited. And I'm excited because I also wanted it to transform. And it does transform. It turns into sort of a ball. It doesn't roll, and it just sort of looks like this. So is it super hyper impressive as a transformer? No, but the attempt was made. It's there. This company does make well, Takara's not making it. If Takara made it, it would be better, I bet. But anyway, we'll just leave it alone. I'm happy they're making it. $33 price point. Mine's already pre-ordered. Truthfully, I'd like to see a sale and buy like 3 or 4 of them, because I do have a collection of like 20 of them already, the smaller ones. Wouldn't mind having a few of these. We got an Ahsoka series Thrawn, and yeah, he looks pretty good. Looks like the actor and all of that. I think we've already got a Thrawn that I'm happy with. I don't need another Thrawn that just looks like the actor of the show. And where it is, I'm perfectly fine with my Thrawn. I think we even found them on sale for like $10 or something, but with that, it's still cool looking. It's cool if you want it. Maybe I'll catch it on sale. Alright, so we got a new clone. I don't collect clones, so I'm out of it. But I'm hearing it's got more articulation and stuff. Maybe it's a better clone body. Is that what's going on with it? Maybe. Removable helmet, all that great stuff. People love building clones. Clone armies from the Clone Wars and all that kind of stuff. And clones always sell, so they make another one. Alright, getting into Vintage Collection. It's, why bother? I mean, are we going to go to 1,000? Because we're going to have 4 of every one of these Mandalorian figures, but Axe Woves, here's the weird part. I remember being at Target, seeing an Axe Woves, passing on it, and then like 3 weeks later it popped up, and after people saying you might want to pick it up, I went ahead and picked one up. I already have it, and I just don't get it. I don't understand the reasoning and logic behind just putting the same things out over and over. Commander Rex. Don't we have one of these? I don't even know. At this point, there's just so much going on. Like, so much of what feels like the same thing coming out that I just can't keep up with it. It's different if it's like, okay, there's like 8 clones. All right, do I have all this checklist on this? So I just really don't know at this point. So is this one just because it's slightly different because of the Bad Batch? Or have we never gotten one? I'm pretty sure we got a Vintage Collection one. And then Grogu. I know for sure we got one of these. I remember getting all excited hunting down a Grogu, going, I wish I had one on the card back and not in a little stupid box for $10. But now it's on the card back for like $15. So, I don't know. Will there be 12 or 15 different Grogus? You betcha there will. Luke Skywalker X-Wing pilot. I'm pretty sure I have this. I know I've got some X-Wing pilot Luke in some slight difference on a Star Wars card. Just, I don't see the point. I don't get it. Why are we not finishing out characters that we're missing? I don't understand. But we leave it to the Stan Solos, leave it to the, was it Pro Customs, and then next up. Right, so this is the Mandalorian Fleet Commander, which I think is actually a new character. So pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of easy to just keep making Mandalorian figures using similar style bucks, changing them up a little bit, but kind of cool. So if it's something we haven't had yet, I think it's cool. If we've had it already, don't make it. Give us something new. Speaking of something new, this is not new. So why do we need another Mandalorian figure? So this is where I get frustrated with this line, and I pass on most of it because of this. Okay, so we're going to have pipeline reveals, and they're going to be Mandalorian, followed by Mandalorian, followed by Mandalorian. This is a joke, by the way, but it feels pretty on par with what's going on. I mean, actually, if they would have just mixed them up and just put different Mandalorian characters in there, they would have been probably spot on and correct. Here's what's coming for the pipeline reveals for the Retro Collection. Now, I do have to admit, out of all of this, I do think Retro Collection version of Grievous is the one that I would look forward to the most. I'm just curious how they pull it off, what it looks like. I think that's pretty cool. But as for the rest of it, we all know that the Phantom Menace one is probably going to kill the line, but this movie here it's okay. The character selection's okay, it's alright. I mean, Mace Windu is cool, but still, you're just going to be getting more of these rogue Jedis, and okay, that's what it is. But let's get into the Black Series pipeline. Nope, this Vintage Collection. Vintage Collection pipeline reveal. So we're going to be getting some Ahsoka droids, HK-87 droid, the Dark Trooper without all the extra stuff. So maybe we'll actually get it on a packaging you can see the figure. That'd be nice. Another Ahsoka. I think she's going to be wearing her white clothes. Cobb Vanth, so basically another Mandalorian, and then a Mandalorian, another Mandalorian, and then Bo-Katan, another Mandalorian. And we've got IG-12 Grogu and Anzellan coming in the Black Series. We have a Mandalorian Night Owl, Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon will look pretty cool. I mean, we already have Moff Gideon, but now he's going to have a helmet. Super Battle Droid. So the Super Battle Droid as a fan channel on its own. So that's something I would pick up by itself. I don't need it in a set. Then we have the Jedi Survivor 3-pack. Again, we don't need all this stuff the way they're putting it out, but they're going to make it, and a lot will hit retail at sell prices. Even these exclusives and fan channels will eventually go on sale, in my opinion. I'm going to wrap this up with some pictures that I got from Ace, from Ramen Toy, but they're not Ramen Toy product. This is the Dason Toys tiny little good old Bravestarr they got going on. It's listed on sites as 6.7 inches tall. There's just no way. There's no way it's that height. But here he is next to them, and then here is the packaging shot. And that's what it looks like in the package. So he's not very big. I have one coming from Gundam Toys. It's a Showzi's other site for action figures, and with that, I think it looks pretty cool. I think his torso is maybe just his ab section is a little too short. That makes him too short. It even looks like he's short for his trait. Like they intended him to be taller, but we'll see when we get it. Will be cool to have as a sidekick for the Marshal. See, it even uses Bravestarr as the name, not even Sheriff. Straight up Bravestarr. That's brave. So what other cool stuff's going on out there that I missed? I like to stay in the know. Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and Tidarium here out.